NBA Dallas Mavericks Luka Doncic photo by Christian Petersen. Getty Images. The 19-year-old Slovenian was selected third overall by the Atlanta Hawks, before being traded to the Dallas Mavericks on draft night in exchange for the 5th overall pick, a future first-round pick. The former Euroleague champion and MVP has been nothing short of a revelation, averaging 20.7 points, 7 boards, and 5.4 assists while shooting 44% from the field. He's also shooting 35% from 3 on 7 attempts per game. But it's not just the numbers. The eye test tells you a whole lot about Luka. Firstly, the fact you can say just refer to him as Luka, and people know who you're talking about is crazy, right? But seriously, the kid is special. The way he plays the game at his own pace, seemingly gliding around the court despite his 6'7", 220-pound frame. He navigates the pick and roll like a seasoned vet. He's already got an unstoppable move in his step-back 3. You can tell he's been a pro for 4 years. And no, that's not a typo. Luka Doncic has been a professional basketball player since 2015, though he didn't play much early on. That experience from such a young age is such a rare asset. It's something no American rookie can, or ever will boast. It makes Doncic's ceiling frightening. He plays like a vet because, in many ways, he already is. Yet, he's still only 19, and could be around a decade away from his prime. The ease at which he plays the game, the flashy plays, the array of skills on display. At no fault of his own, Luka's making the other rookies look bad. But the thing is, they aren't bad. In fact, this year's class has been excellent thus far, and holding them to Doncic's standards is unfair to them. Now, that's not to say that Luka will be the best player from this draft class. By no means is that a guarantee. But as of right now, he's showcasing the benefits of having 3 to 4 years of pro basketball under his belt, which is, again, something no American rookie can boast. While Luka remains the best player from his draft class as of now, the 2018 NBA draft still looks to have produced some other studs. Here are a few who have stood out. Page 2 NBA Atlanta Hawks Trae Young photo by Jason Miller. Getty Images. Traded for Doncic on draft night, Trae Young looks to be an excellent player in his own right. The 6'2" guard out of Oklahoma has shown he's more than a shooter, hiding his early deficiencies from downtown by showcasing his other talents, though he is shooting 36.4% in his last 7 on 8 attempts a night. Given his slight frame, the 20-year-old finishes extremely well, showing excellent craftsmanship around the basket. He has a Curry-like scoop layup, which he uses to nullify opposing shot blockers, arcing the ball as if it were a floater. Speaking of floaters, he's good at them, too. Come off the pick and roll, it's becoming his go-to shot. If defenders gravitate towards the big, he lets it go. If he draws the double, he's an excellent lob passer, and John Collins isn't too shabby of a finisher. Vision is another underrated part of Young's game, despite the fact he leads all rookies in assists per game, 7.4, and total assists, 367. Numbers don't tell the full story with Young, particularly given his team's 18 to 35. Stats can often be empty on poor teams, but Trae is for real. We've already mentioned his lob passing, but it's the variety of passes he can make. He's got an arsenal of dimes that he can dish. He's shown an ability to find the man leaking out off a steal on time and on target, as well as the ability to whip passes to open shooter off of pick-and-roll action. His chemistry with John Collins only continues to grow, with Young time and time again finding the bouncy big man with impeccable loops and pocket passes as he ferociously rolls to the tin. Not only is Trae a stud, but this Hawks team has an unbelievably underrated core, spearheaded by the Oklahoma man. Page 3 NBA Phoenix Suns DeAndre Ayton photo by Christian Petersen. Getty Images. In recent memory, there haven't been many number 1 overall picks talked about as little as DeAndre Ayton of the Phoenix Suns. It's at no fault of his own, though. The 7'1" man out of Arizona is averaging 16.5 points and 10.6 boards per game, shooting 58% from the field and 77% from the line. Ayton's game isn't old school per se, but in a word, it's boring. He's not a crazy dunker. He's not a flashy passer. He's not a brutal shot blocker. He is, though, a very, very good basketball player. Ayton can ferociously roll to the rim off the pick and roll, finishing at a high clip through contact and having the motor to corral offensive rebounds off his own misses. Sometimes he'll pop out for a mid-range jumper, showing nice touch and a smooth and quick release from that range. He's teased the Suns faithful with his range, attempting 4 threes thus far this season. He's told the media that he intends to increase his frequency as the season comes to a close, and rightly so. Mechanically, you can tell it's only a matter of time before he becomes comfortable out there. Should Ayton extend his range, he'd be a matchup nightmare. Strong, long and dominant inside with the ability to pop out to the three-point line is a skill set only a handful of big men boast. It's no secret he needs to improve defensively. Today's NBA is extremely switch-oriented on the defensive end, so Ayton will need to improve his lateral quickness. As a big coming out of college, it feels as if it will be a case of reps rather than a need to completely rehaul how he approaches the defensive side of the ball. Nonetheless, Ayton's shown he's a worthy number 1 overall pick. Page 4. Use your arrows to browse NBA. Memphis Grizzlies Jaren Jackson Jr. Photo by Elsa, Getty Images. Selected 4th overall, Jaren Jackson Jr. has been a stud for the Memphis Grizzlies. At 6'11" with a large frame, Jackson has shown a little bit of everything thus far at the NBA level. Former Michigan State Spartan is currently averaging 13.9 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks per game. Jackson is a multifaceted player. He's shown ability in the pick and roll as the roll man, has a nice little post game and can knock down the three ball at a respectable level, 35.3% on 2.4 attempts per game. Defensively, he's also been great. He's shown glimpses of dominant rim protection and has shown the ability to move his feet on the perimeter when switching onto guards and wings. Jackson being so solid at so many different things, his ceiling could be frightening. With Marc Gasol gone and Mike Conley likely not far behind him as the offseason looms, Jackson has the opportunity to be the number 1 option and have the franchise essentially built around him. Playing third fiddle for most of the year, it'll be a treat next year to see Jackson completely unleashed as the guy for the Grizz. Use your arrows to